This video is a quick sneak peek of how to run a corridor study for the vehicle and bicycle modes in StreetLight's platform, StreetLight InSight. Run multiple analyses for the same corridor in a few clicks to identify vehicle and bicycle activity hotspots. Go back in time or fast forward to the present to get traffic volume, speed, demographics, and more for corridor studies during different times of day and days of the week. The on-demand platform provides insights for multiple modes, shedding light on travel patterns that often require setting up manual traffic counters at multiple locations. And while normally limited to just the various roads with traffic counters, StreetLight's platform provides metrics across all road segments, which allows for a broader and more representative sample. This corridor is a section of Portland Street in Halifax between Spring Avenue and Green Village Lane. We're trying to get a sense of vehicle and bicycle activity in this area, where there is a mix of commercial activity, some residential neighborhoods, and a freeway. We're looking at an average spring day in 2021. To start, we use an origin-destination analysis to understand where vehicles end up after they enter the corridor at Spring Avenue. As I move my mouse around, there's a pop-up in the top left of the screen showing the percentage of vehicle trips ending in each of these neighborhoods. Immediately, we see that about 30% of the drivers are heading for the northbound ramp of Highway 111, also called the Cirque. But a decent share, about 16%, go all the way through our corridor without stopping. We can also see the distributions for all these other locations and exits along the corridor. Repeating this analysis for bikes, we obviously don't see any bikes heading onto the freeway. Nearly half of the bicycles go all the way through the corridor without stopping. About 13% make the left turn into the shopping area by the Atlantic Superstore. Replicating these analyses using traditional methods could be quite tedious and costly, as it requires 90 days of monitoring at 36 locations with multiple modes. Oftentimes, cities compromise by doing very short-term counts instead, sacrificing sample size and representativeness in the process. Digging deeper, we now use the segment analysis to understand traffic on the roadway itself. Here, Portland is split into 3 eastbound and 3 westbound segments. The time distribution chart for the westbound flows shows traffic building to a morning peak around 8 a.m. and another afternoon peak between 5 and 6 p.m. Volumes are fairly flat through the midday hours, and this is also reflected in the hourly speed profile. Here we see the mean speed, as well as the 5th, 85th, and 95th percentile speeds, and they're all relatively flat throughout the day until after 7 p.m., where they start to tick up as traffic clears. For the final analysis, we start with a small gate at Spring Avenue and ask the platform to show the origin routes of westbound trips into our corridor. As I zoom out, we see that most of the trips are coming from Portland and Cole Harbour Road, but a decent share is also coming out from Caldwell Road. This lake provides a natural barrier to east-west trips, so vehicles have to go north and funnel into our corridor. Now, switching to the destination ends of those trips, we see that many of these trips split after passing through our corridor, with just over half of those vehicles heading north along the Cirque, bypassing downtown Dartmouth and Halifax. A little less than half of those trips continue on Portland into downtown Dartmouth and across the bridge into Halifax. This ability to blend several different analysis types in a single platform is a powerful way to analyze an entire corridor in just a few hours. We've captured metrics that are typically part of a corridor study, but we've also gone much further with more robust sample and the ability to go back in time. We could do even more by adding things like turning movement counts. As a bonus, since StreetLight releases new data frequently, cities can set up ongoing corridor monitoring programs, either using the graphical user interface like I've done here, or programmatically through our API.